Hi there, welcome back to Lattes and More. Today I'm going to talk about fundamentals. I feel like there's another video that I did out there on fundamentals and why I consider myself a fundamental trader. The news is so important. It affects everything that's going on with trading, with every country. As you know, I'm in the US and I trade primarily US 30, the Dow Jones, the stocks, right? Which is affected by everything. It's one of my most favorites, and I've learned over the years of trading that if you just focus, if you just narrow your focus down, for me, it has played out very well. So the news is critical, and what's most exciting about it is that I don't want to use the word predict, but you can tell how things are going to react if you know, if you study. The news repeats itself. The economic news repeats itself weekly and monthly and yearly, but it's the weekly data. And I didn't even realize this until a couple of years ago. Like, oh, these numbers come out, FOMC and CPI, and like, then I saw it again, like like there's no rest for the weary. Those numbers always come out. And so I just started listening to my trading guru, understanding, and now I post on social media that I'm like this economic geek because Bloomberg is on my TV every day. I listen to Bloomberg. I understand what's going on, and I just love it. So I want to share some of that information here on the Cafe au Lait tier because you guys, this is what you get. You get the deeper understanding because you're committed and you see what I'm doing. So let's get into it. I'm just gonna go to Forex Factor and bring up the news, and then I have something written out, so I don't want to like keep glancing down on it and just being transparent. You know what? It doesn't really even matter. I'm just gonna do that because I am transparent, and I wrote up these notes sometime last month of what I wanted to say to you guys about fundamental trading, and I never got there. But like I said, the data is happening all the time, weekly, daily, monthly. It's all like put out. They take data, and I heard somebody say once, you can't measure a puddle if there hasn't been any rainfall. Like the data that we get every month is old data. The data that's coming out this week on the 15th, 14th, and 15th for CPI is June data. All right. Our inflation rate right now, as of May, right, because we don't have the June data, we just started July, right, is 4.0. Like a nice, stable, humming along economy is a 2% inflation. And, you know, the federal government is working really hard to get us there, but there have been bumps. There are going to be more bumps and bruises. And if you're in the know, then you're going to be able to navigate. But I'm telling you, the people who are not in the know are just going to be, you might get stuck. You might like, my car broke down. I can't afford a new car. I can't afford to take my kids out to restaurants anymore. We're eating more at home. I'm having trouble being able to send my kids to college, and we're all different age levels here. But you're going to feel the pinch, and you're not going to know what to do about it. And we don't want fear, we don't want panic. Following the news will definitely make you a better trader. I traded for 2 years and someone's like, oh, check Forex Factory. I'm like, yeah, I have it on my tabs. I don't know. I just didn't check it. I don't know. Look at the market, it's going crazy. And I just didn't realize, like, I don't want to sound naive, but in the early years, I didn't realize what was happening. And I have been an indice trader almost from the beginning. I had a mentors, like when I first started trading, they're like, stay away from cryptocurrency, too volatile, stay away from those indices. I'm like, what are indices? Like, I didn't even know. And now it's what I do. So I'm just really happy about that. But you can take advantage of those news announcements that come out, and I've said it in the past, like, you want to trade to those little news folders. Let's actually go there now just so you can see. Where's my news? Interesting. Okay, so it's gone. Hold on, hold on 1 second, because it's not here to share. And I love the transparency of what I'm doing. Like, I'm just a normal person running a Zoom. That's all. Just, nothing needs to be perfect. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. So yeah, I have, as you can see, I have Forks Factory up here, and I've had it on my desktop for a long time as an icon, and I never did it. Now I have it as a powerful tab. So what I want to say about my style of trading for the US is that this news, like the things I'm going to teach you, this news applies to all countries. We're all really in the same boat. They're all working on their interest rates and inflation. And you talk to anybody from another country, and they're not going to be singing economic praises. They're like, yeah, it's really tight here. Yeah, it's everywhere. So what I'm teaching you based on US news, you can apply to any country. So if you like to trade the Canadian dollar or the Swiss or the euro or the British pound, you can trade what I'm going to teach you everywhere. Because all countries are dealing with high inflation and unemployment rates and supply chain issues. We're all in it. It has not been fun. It wasn't fun in 2003. It wasn't fun in 2008, 2013, 2020. Just there's a lot going on. And, it's what I've learned is it's the expectation of what's going to happen. Like, I'm about to take a big trip. And the expectation of what it's going to be like, what even the travel process is going to be like, I could go up and down with that, with my emotions. The same with trading, the same with what's going on in the economy. Like, there's fear in the market, there's greed in the market. Are we making capital gains? Am I going to be okay? Did I lose money? There's all this going on in our thought process. But what the things I want to talk to you about on this channel as I continue to add economic videos, okay, for you to watch and hopefully learn from, is how to trade with this news, how to take advantage of it as a trader so you can set yourself apart and trade accordingly and potentially have a profitable portfolio. So let's go over some things. There's so much to cover that I'm just going to try to keep them simple. And in today's video, we're going to talk about CPI and what CPI is. So CPI stands for Consumer Price Index. Hear the word price? What do you think that means? It's the price of goods and services that we have to pay for. So that CPI, just like the candlesticks and money and everything else and time, it's very fluid. It's always moving, always changing. So the CPI number is calculated by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, right? Called the BLS, and they track inflation. What does that mean? It just means that they're tracking the cost of the cost of scissors and the cost of water bottles, and of course bigger things, cars and homes and food and gas. I forgot what they were called. Gas and oil and all these things. They take a measurement of whether the price is going up or down, and there's many things that influence that. Okay, but CPI is a data that comes out every month, is coming out this week, July 15th, tells us how the economy is doing. It compares the cost of living that we have here in the US and also to other countries, the CPI for other countries. Like I said, everything that happens here is happening in other countries. So if you're trading other currency pairs, you're good to go, right? I'm excited to show you a chart in a little minute. But yeah, as CPI goes up, as that number goes up, right? So do the cost of goods. There's so many things I want to show you. So, we're trying to, CPI is just a fancy term for an average of inflation, a 12-month average of inflation. That's what they do. They add up 12 months. So this CPI number that's coming out will be from June 2020 to this past June 2023. They add up all those numbers, right? And they divide it by 12. Like, it's that simple. And that's how they're coming up with their numbers. Like, so you just learned something. If you did not know that, that's where these numbers are coming from. And let me just pause because I want to show you a link. I had it up last night. It's just mind blowing. It's like, oh, I want to save all these links, and I'll probably put them all in one place for you so you can go and check this data out yourself. But let me go find that link and we will come right back. The one I just found when I was looking for what I wanted to show you was this chart, which was really interesting. Again, under the BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, as I had mentioned. And if you look right here, you can see that inflation has been going down. You can see inflation, where was I looking? You can see inflation has been going down. Last year at this time it was 5.3. Now it's remained pretty stable, but it needs to come down lower, okay? And the lower it drops, it means the federal government's doing its job. If it goes up higher, it means the federal government has to make some correction. And I want to show you, where is it? Nope. I wanted to show you one other thing. And, oh, here we go. I love this chart. And I forgot to share. I remember sharing these numbers with someone last year, and they're like, can you say those again? So there's a chart on the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Make sure I'm recording. Okay. The BLS.gov site. These are the numbers. These are the numbers from May. Okay. And again, it's 12 months of data. So next week they'll add up again, June from 2022 to June of 2023. But this is the data from May of 2022 to May of 2023. And it's just 12 months added up, like I said. So cost of food, you can see, and it's all categorized, and it's really frightening, maybe. So cost of food, to eat food at home, let me move my face out of here. To eat food at home went up by 4%, 6.7%. This is no surprise, folks. We're not talking, oh, the price of eggs. We're talking the price of everything. Something that was $2.79 is now $3.24. And you don't notice these changes, and the food manufacturers sometimes also decrease their box size or package size. Something that might have been 16.5 ounces is now 15.9 ounces. So now you're paying more for a smaller amount. Happens all the time. And you don't notice until, I'll just divert a little bit, until the package changes. When, I don't have anything to show. When the packaging changes a little bit on your product, on your granola bar, right? I know something that looks like granola bar. On your granola bar, your packaging is is more colorful, or it's got some different wording, check and make sure that the size didn't go down, because it happens all the time. As the price goes up, you're like, oh, it's a new packaging, blah, blah, blah. Cost of food. Food away from home is eating out in restaurants went up last month, 5.8%. Energy costs, gas costs, where are we? Gas, I'll just put this up. Gas costs, gas went down. So gas went down. Gas generally gets a little bit, we have more supply in the summer, and we use more like to heat our homes. Although we're traveling and driving, we need that gas to heat our homes in the winter, like this whole country. So gas prices usually like, I can show you a chart, like just ebb and flow with the seasons continuously. So gas is down. Fuel costs are down from last month, which was nice. Electricity, back up. Utilities, for this is like home, what, 5.9%. Commodities, that was the word I was looking for. New cars went down. New car prices went down a little bit. 4.7, we're still overpaying. Like, this is the quote unquote new normal, as my mentor says. Medical care up. Clothing, what went down? Oh, used cars. Having trouble following that. Used cars went down. Remember, they were like crazy. Used cars were higher than new cars. What the heck? I could use a new car. I'm holding off. Shelter, homes, transportation services. What went up? Transportation services. Wow. I don't know if that includes airlines or just buses or, subway transportation, up 10%. Up 10%. Wow. So these numbers that, the government wants to see these numbers. If we're lowering inflation, these numbers should go down. So these numbers are really fascinating. I love to watch them all the time. But let's get into Forks Factory really quick. The whole thing. Hold on. Thank you for being patient. Let's look at what the week looks like, and then let's talk about briefly some ways that we might be able to take advantage of that trading of the market. As I bring this up, you're being super patient. I just don't like to keep pausing back and forth. So, okay, so let's change this filter. It's Sunday. Today is Sunday. So let's bring up Forks Factory from Monday to the end of the week. We'll just do Saturday just for yucks. And I have a filter on just for the US news. Oh, I take that back because I was doing some training and we were looking at the JPY. So let's just uncheck this. And I think that I had videos on how to do this possibly in the espresso tier, which you get, by the way. Apply this filter. Oh, why did that not work? Good lordy. Uncheck. Thank you. Apply. Okay, so here's the US news. Tuesday, not a lot going on. Oh, and I wanted to show you something. Hold on one second. I want to show you something that I do I did it Saturday night. By Sunday night, this is what I do. What I wanted to show you is that I have a daily calendar journal. And what I do every week, and I think I've shown this in the past, highlighted in yellow, I go to Forks Factory and I write down all the news and I put it in my calendar. And I'm very disciplined about this. It makes me feel, so here's this week. Oh gosh, what a busy week. But it makes me aware because this is right on my kitchen counter. I pass by it a gazillion times. because I'm primarily working from home, although I'm hitting the road to go see a client, which is great. But I have this daily news written down so I can glance at it and not be so dependent on the sucker right here, which of course, is my 100% trading. So yes, oh, it was the 12th. Oh, I get that. Okay. Yeah, so there is a lot of news coming out this week, and they've given this a red. My face is in the way. Let me just take off my face for a second. They've given this a red folder for CPI on Tuesday. And if you look, here's previous CPI, just another word for inflation rate. They see this rate going up. Okay. So if this goes up, federal government has to make a decision on what to do, because if this number is not lowering, then what they're doing is not working. I'm trying to keep it in simple terms. So they're going to have to increase interest rates in the US again, which what that means is that it will cost us more to borrow money. So what they're basically doing is suffocating the economy a little bit. They're like, whoa, hold up. Let's cut back on this spending. Let's, they're making the money more expensive to borrow. And that doesn't just mean on cars and homes. That's everything, because I feel like I should do a trickle down. I could do that, a trickle down video. This affects everything. If you're not buying that car, then the car dealership slows down. Instead of making $30,000 that month, they made 21, and now it's really slow, and they might have to let one of the car dealers physically go. They might have to let Steve go or cut back his hours. So if that happens, then his household income reduces. So that affects his spending, right? That affects his spending on his wife, on his kids. Maybe they're going to buy new furniture. Okay, let's hold off on the new furniture. So, hello, who does that affect? The furniture store. Now the furniture store has less sales. Now, Mr. Furniture Dealer, who follows you around the furniture store, you need any help, just ask. Now his income is reduced. So now he's not, I always say, taking his wife out to dinner, or taking her husband out to dinner. They're not buying as many school clothes for their kids, because we're almost at that time of year. It's a trickle down. It affects everything. So how you trade with this, I will just tell you that if this actual number comes out and it's drastically different, there will be a wild reaction in the market. Okay, this is what we're expecting. We're expecting it to be higher. But if this number is much higher or much lower, there will be a reaction in the market. There will be fear in the market. People will sell some of their stocks. People will I don't know what's happening to my money, and the price of gold will go up. The cost of the dollar will go up or down with this news. And when you know how to predict that, we as traders can take advantage of that. So these numbers PPI is also super important. These numbers come out every month and sometimes every week. So this is what I trade on. And as you can see, I write it down on my calendar, and it's ultra important as a trader for me. What you want to watch out for, especially with CPI, is if that number is drastically higher, okay, inflation is going up, then the federal government is going to raise rates, okay? Inflation rates up, federal government will raise its rates of borrowing money, the value of the dollar will go up, okay? Rates up, value up is the coinage we're going to use today. And what that means is, your dollar is actually just buying less and less. You're getting less for the value of your dollar. So what's going to happen is, if we end up raising rates because inflation went up, okay, the federal government is raising the rates to borrow money, things like the stocks and the Dow and the NASDAQ and SPX will go down. So you want to watch that dance and you want to be involved in it. Okay. And that's what I do as a trader. So I'm excited about the numbers coming out every week. I'm excited about uh, the growth and the shifts in our economy. And we'll do more fundamental trainings, but CPI is super important. And the federal government is trying to get those. I was just looking at some notes, and back in, I want to say it was August 22, the inflation rate was, let me just see if I still have it. I'm not sharing it, but the inflation rate, where was it? It was crazy. It was in October of 22, our inflation rate was 8.2. Like, what? That's crazy. We have to get this down. We're getting it down, but there's reasons for that too. And I'll probably might even do a CPI part 2 for fundamentals. But for now, my friends, I'm gonna end this video, and I hope that you found some new information here that you didn't know. And stay tuned. I'm gonna break down PPI and PMI and unemployment rates and what to look for with that previous forecast and then the actual. And then we'll look at some charts and see what happened to the movement. And once you start to see this, you'll be able to look back on your own on TradingView and go, I see what happened. Inflation rate, CPI went up. Look what happened to the dollar. Look what happened to stocks. Like, once you see this pattern, it's like the secret key to trading. So stay tuned, because this is where I'm at and I can't wait to share it with you. All right, guys, talk to you later.